I think it may, there's a good chance it'll be here in 10 years or less now.
So, in 4 to 19 years, we reach this point. What does that look like?
So I don't really want to speculate on what it would look like if AI decided to take over. There's so many ways it could do it.
And I'm not even talking about taking over. We can talk about that. I'm sure we will talk about that. But putting aside that kind of takeover, just like a super intelligent artificial intelligence, like what kind of things is this capable of or would be doing?
So the sort of good scenario is we would all be like the sort of dumb CEO of a big company who has an extremely intelligent assistant who actually makes everything work, but does what the CEO wants. So the CEO thinks they're doing things, but actually it's all done by the assistant. And the CEO feels just great because everything they sort of decide to do works out. That's the good scenario.
And I've heard you point out a few areas where you think there's reason to be optimistic about what this future looks like.
Yes.
Yeah, so why don't we take each of them?
So areas like healthcare, they will be much better at reading medical images, for example. That's a minor thing. I made a prediction some years ago they'd be better by now, and they're about comparable with the experts by now. They'll soon be considerably better because they'll have had a lot more experience. One of these things can look at millions of x-rays and learn from millions of them, and a doctor can't. They'll be very good family doctors. So you can imagine a family doctor who's seen 100 million people, including half a dozen people with your very, very rare condition. They'd just be a much better family doctor. A family doctor who can integrate information about your genome with the results of all the tests on you and all the tests on your relatives, the whole history, and doesn't forget things. That would be much, much better. Already, AI combined with the doctor is much better at doing diagnoses in difficult cases than a doctor alone. So we're going to get much better healthcare from these things. And they'll design better drugs too.
Education is another field?
Yes. In education, we know that if you have a private tutor, you can learn stuff about twice as fast. These things eventually will be extremely good private tutors who know exactly what it is you misunderstand and exactly what example to give you to clarify it to you so you understand. So maybe you'll be able to learn things 3 or 4 times as fast with these things. That's bad news for universities, but good news for people.